everybody, and welcome back to the Road Less Traveled podcast. How is everybody doing today?
Yes, we hope you're doing well. We've got a very exciting episode today. I think it's our most controversial episode to date.
I don't know about that.
There's been a lot of opinions.
Sleep training brings on a lot of opinions. Check the pod before this one.
I know, but today's episode is going to be on airplane etiquette and travel day pet peeves.
Retro.
We put out the questions on your Instagram and the Road Less Travel podcast Instagram. We got inundated with your pet peeves.
There are a lot out there.
So we're going to dive into that. But quickly, let's just touch on the week that was.
Sure.
What's going on, Les?
I don't know. Honestly, my mind is in space. I am a space cadet right now, today and every day, really. I think I got too many balls in the air.
We have a lot of balls in the air. We've got this exciting new venture that we've teased, but we can't talk about yet. But you're basically
pouring hours into it.
It's so exciting, though.
It is. It's so fun and exciting. But yes, I doesn't leave. And then this week's recital week for Nora. So they're a couple days in, a lot earlier. For her, which is so exciting for her.
I'm so excited to see that. I went to Los Angeles last week to pick up some equipment because I'm shooting a movie in Little Rock here tomorrow, and I just had a commercial shoot come up in Fayetteville with a U.S. Olympian. A shot put guy, massive, looked like he should have been in Game of Thrones. It's
Really?
just this beast, this awesome guy. So that was cool to go up to Fayetteville, but lots happening on many different fronts.
So much, and when you're gone, I'm trying to figure out how to single parent, which honestly is a learning curve.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's interesting because we usually do every morning together, every waking minute together, which I think is a rarity, but we do it really well. But then when I'm gone or you're gone, it's like, oh my God, like I just want to hug all the single parents out there because it's tough.
Yeah, I think when you went up to Fort Smith for the baby shower, there's things that you don't realize that you do when you're gone, and you're like, okay, I got to do that. I got to pick up the slack on all these things that you do that I don't normally do, like getting dressed and all the clothes and the outfits and a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
And I'm the cook. I do the breakfast. I do the dinners. I do the trash. So there's things you probably notice when I'm gone.
Yeah. And then you were coming back yesterday from Fayetteville, and Nora's like, yay, Daddy's coming back. And I was like, thank fuck for that.
I know, and that was like a quick trip. I mean, I was gone at 4 a.m. and then I was back at 7:30 a.m.
It was a super quick trip, and I love Arkansas jobs for you so much.
Me too.
But it's just it's just a learning curve to figure out how to juggle too. That's all.
Yeah, I hope more jobs come up in Fayetteville because it's not too bad of a drive, and it means I get back same day, and it's awesome
for sure.
But my travel day last week to LA, which was very quick. I stayed one night, and then I was back. But I did 4 planes, the usual, out of Little Rock. I did Little Rock to Houston to LA, and then I did Denver on the way home. Airports I'm very familiar with. And it made me think about airplane etiquette because this guy sat next to me. I was in economy, and he got the middle row. And I truly believe this is one of the biggest things I believe. The middle seat always gets 2 armrests. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah. So that was something a lot of people said here in the questions.
That's just not the way it goes, though. The arms fall where they fall. It's like the cards fall where they fall, and it's not always just a free rest for the middle seat.
Yeah.
It's just not.
So I have a lot of everybody's pet peeves and travel day etiquette tips here. So for all those watching, we're going to be putting some of these in the highlight reel for the world to know. And I think all of us can take on some of these and do better on travel days. So here we go. Number 1, just not being aware of your surroundings. The airport, the plane, lines, others beside you, spatial awareness. People do not have it. Very annoying.
What just popped into my mind was lack of urgency.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get it. There are probably a good amount of travelers out there in the airport going through their travel day because they are cool, calm, and collected. They got, everything that they need. They're prepared. They're on time. What about those of us that aren't? And I just walk a little faster.
Yeah.
And urgency. We all have the same goal. We all need to board that plane. So let's do it with some hurriedness.
Yeah. I think we're going to get to boarding in a minute, but in terms of being aware of your your spatial awareness, I was traveling and my first flight was slightly delayed out of Little Rock. So I had an hour and a half connection. So my hour and a half connection basically went to about 45 minutes, maybe less. And I had to move fast through Houston. And the worst is, and they're usually guys, they're usually business people, their flight's been delayed, and they're just walking around in the middle of the airport on their phone, slow. They got no sense of urgency at all. So that is probably, I agree with that. Be aware of your surroundings and other people, because other people might have tight connections like me, and you're just dilly-dallying around. Or another one is stay to the left. If people stay to the left and everyone stays to their left on that side, we've got a bit more order.
You mean stay to the right?
Sorry, stay to the right.
You're the Aussie. Yeah.
I'm the Australian, sorry.
I was
stay to the right.
So confused.
Maybe I'm the problem.
I'm the problem. It's you.
Well, that's the problem. You got people from Australia that come over and they're veering to the left.
That was great.
I meant the right. I'm American now, so I do mean the right. Stay to the right. But I mean, it's just a shit show at the airport. But yeah, you do notice those people that are there 3 or 4 hours before the airport for a long haul, and they're just cruising, going to the shops, and they're just no awareness of their surroundings and people walking with a tight connection.
Honestly, usually 2 people marry each other. One is that person who gets there 4 hours ahead of time, and one is the person who wants to literally walk on the plane right as they're boarding.
You've turned me into that person now.
So now we're the same person.
I've morphed into you.
Lovely.
All right. So spatial awareness, people, be alert. That was a big one. Here we go. People who crowd the boarding area. Why are you in a rush? We all have a seat. And an extension of this one that a lot of people said, wait for your damn boarding number. If you're 5, 4, or 3, sit the fuck down. I
understand that. Unless I have a carry-on bag, and then I need that carry-on bag to make its way into an overhead bin space.
Yeah, but if you're a frequent flyer, you get rewarded for that, and you get on the plane first.
Sure.
So you're in boarding group 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But if you're in 3, 4, or 5, sit down.
Sure.
Especially
Absolutely.
5, or if I think American goes up to 8 or something. It's
I've lost track.
Sit down.
Yeah.
We can make it smoother there. Especially for the frequent flyers that need to get on. You just you feel bad getting on the plane. You're oh, sorry, I'm number 1.
Well, I'll turn that on its head. What about when we land and the ding goes off, we're at the gate, and everybody, boom, immediately stands up in the aisle with nowhere to go?
That was probably one of the most that hit your inbox, was people that stand up. And that was someone goes, here you go. People who stand immediately after the plane has landed. Sit down. You're in row 27.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah, and another person, deplane by row for smooth exit.
Sure.
I agree with that. However, I think there's one caveat on that. If that flight was delayed and people on that plane who have a connecting flight, let them through. If you don't have a connecting flight and you're not in a rush, let people get off first. I think the airlines and the flight attendants
they're pretty good about that.
Do a really good job of announcing that, going, hey, we were delayed by 30 minutes or 45 minutes. We have all these people that have connectings. If you're not connecting, sit down and let them pass. I think that's really courteous for people that are traveling on, not to miss their next flight.
You know what else is courteous that I love? Speaking about landing, every time a plane lands in Argentina, everybody claps, and it's the best thing ever.
Somebody disagrees with you heavily here. Here we go. I got to find this.
There is joy in landing a plane safely thanking the pilot and being on your way.
No, I got to find it now. I got to find it. Someone's like, stop with the clapping. Like when the plane lands, stop with the clapping.
Okay, Grinch.
Please.
Okay.
I think it's a South American, Central American thing.
I love it. Let me be South American.
Are the pilots that bad that when they land the plane, everyone's relieved? They clap.
I'm still here. I flew over that continent. I can't tell you how many times. It's joyful. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody disagrees with you strongly here, and I'm sure many others do. Let us know. Send us a message. How do you feel about the clapping?
It's just a little, tip of the hat to the captain.
Okay. All right. This is a big one, and I agree with this. The people who take calls for all to hear from their seats or in the boarding area.
I actually saw a friend of mine, put up a photo of the person sitting next to her on the plane last week. She was on a Teams call, like a Microsoft Teams call, actively, taking her turn to speak in the middle. And she was sitting in the middle seat. And the plane was up at 40,000 feet. It was wild. But I've totally been that person on the ground ahead of the door closing.
That's different.
Being on my phone.
I think it's different. In the boarding area, it's bigger. But if you're so loud that everybody can hear you, if I have a phone call, which, we all get near the boarding area, I remove myself from that kind of immediate space and push myself like to the outer rim so that I'm not, because I do project. But if you're on a plane, nobody wants to hear your phone call. Nobody wants to see your Zoom call or your Teams meeting. Get the fuck off.
That was wild.
Say no to the Teams meeting while you're on the plane, all right?
Just take a few moments to yourself.
We hate you as people. We
Alex.
no, it's like this is like a public area, like it's very rude. So yeah, I agree with all of the people. Yeah, and off the back of that, headphones. If you're watching something, if you're playing games, they said with kids too, wear headphones.
We've been pretty good with Nora. We either keep it at a decibel that like really only she can hear, or we put headphones on her.
She loves the headphones now.
Yeah.
So
for about a year it was touch and go there.
But yeah, everybody wear headphones.
For sure. I mean, it's just not the experience if you're trying to watch a movie without them, or you just have the volume on loud.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good not having headphones. I will say while we're on the headphones things, and I love AirPods just for the wireless, and they're great. How many times have we all dropped an AirPod?
This is the exact reason I'm not on the AirPod train. I'm just not. Call me old-fashioned. I don't care. Because how many times have you lost an AirPod?
Countless.
Yeah.
Countless.
Yep.
I've left some on the plane. And then I've dropped them, and then it's like trying to find a quarter in.
Or they just go dead. It's another thing to charge.
Yeah, the AirPods are hard. I do prefer like the Bose headphones, but it's just they're big and
bulky for a travel day.
Bulky for traveling, but yeah, headphones,
wired headphones, forever and always.
Maybe I don't know if someone's done it yet, but a cord for the headphones. So that it goes around your neck, so when you do drop it.
As if they're sunglasses, and you can wear that, yeah.
Maybe like a fluoro one, like the 80s headband.
So cool.
All right, Les, I know you've done this.
Oh, no.
This is a big one, and I can't stand it as well.
Oh, no.
And I think I've done it once or twice as well.
Okay, the truth comes out.
Hunger. Someone eating smelly food on the plane.
I probably can count on one hand how many times I've done that in my travel career. Thank you very much.
And what did you do to your neighbor?
It was probably the worst day of my life.
Tell the people, Les. They want to hear.
And probably my most embarrassing moment. So it's a packed plane. I'm in the back. I'm probably 5 rows from the back.
35C.
Yeah. I'm in the middle seat. And I have Chick-fil-A. And you gotta have ketchup with Chick-fil-A. You just have to. And I guess my hands were pretty greasy by this point, but I couldn't open that packet of ketchup. And so I really put my back into it. Really try to get this packet open. and then out it just shoots onto my neighbor in 35A.
Was this at altitude?
No, we're still on the ground.
Because maybe it was that pressure.
No, let me paint the scene. We're still on the ground at this point, and y'all, I'm telling you, she just got shattered with ketchup to the face, to the outfit. I have never felt so bad in my entire life, and you know what was my saving grace? She turned out to be a flight attendant, not for that particular flight.
She hates you.
For sure. But I think she also just understood. She was just like, oh yeah, here we are again. Like she just got it a little bit than probably anybody else would. And so I was very thankful. But yeah, she had to take herself to the bathroom and just like rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Do you want to apologize to her right now? Look into the camera and tell her sorry.
I don't even know her name, but ma'am, I truly am so sorry. I hope the ketchup stain came out. I think I offered to pay for some
nappy sand
damage. I felt so bad. And that was the last time I had ketchup and Chick-fil-A on a plane.
So you've broken the golden rule for a lot of people. Yeah. Never, ever eat stinky food. Here, listen to this. This was a lot. This was probably polled up there with the next one. Also had a man eat bone and chicken wings and lick his fingers a lot besides me once.
That's terrible.
Like, picture that. It's like,
nope. No, the sound alone,
right.
like the, oh
yeah.
my God.
So
Oh
we're
my
going on the
God.
record here as, professional travelers. We will not eat stinky food on the plane. So you should not eat and bring stinky food on the plane either. Period.
We've done Starbucks a lot, like croissants or bagels or pastries. Totally
Pastries
fine.
are fine.
Yeah.
Cooked stinky foods. No, no, no. Okay. Here we go. This was another big one. When people take their shoes off, and when they do that and then their toes creep up
Ew.
in the middle, and like toes are coming under the seat and in the middle seat.
No, absolutely not. No.
People don't want to see or smell your stinky feet.
Well, I don't want your toes anywhere near me. But I've certainly taken off my shoes before on overnight flights. But I typically either usually have socks on or, it's been those extra pampered flights with those slippers.
Yeah. I think if you're in economy and you're flying a long haul, you can take your shoes off, but have nice thick socks. Maybe bring a spare pair of socks when your stinky ones are done.
I do that a lot in my carry-on.
But no shoes, no like bare feet to the toilet. Like, no one wants to see your bare feet. That is just, it's the hygiene thing. It's gross.
Bare feet to the toilet?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No,
Yeah.
always wear shoes.
I mean, imagine the stuff flight attendants see on a daily basis. Like, thank you for your service.
I'd love to have a flight attendant on, but I need them to be retired and have no ties to an airline so that they can really tell all.
Yeah. Well, any retired flight attendants out there, slide into our DMs. We want you. Okay. This is one for the alcoholics out there. People who are rude when flights don't offer a full beverage service. I mean, it's like, do you need a drink that bad? You can't go a few hours without the full beverage service?
Well, they should already have that information ahead of time.
Yeah.
You got to manage your expectations. Like, do your research, and that should be, you should know.
Yeah. You should be able to, go a few hours or whatever it is without having a drink. And
I don't know. I personally don't love drinking on flights.
Yeah.
Like, I might, if it's a long haul, I might have a glass of wine to like make me sleepy. But honestly, it just is going to dehydrate you even more.
Yeah, exactly. I can have one or two and then I'm tapping out. Yeah, don't be an alcoholic and a drunk on a plane. Nobody wants to deal and see with that shit ever.
Okay.
Here we go. Pet peeve: reclining in the seat back on a short flight. Does that only bother me?
No, I every time I do it, every time I recline my seat, I'm like, oh my God, please don't hate me. Please don't hate me, to the person behind me. But it's an option.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to take it if I need it.
Yeah. A lot of parents chimed in and said, don't recline your seat if they have a lap infant behind them.
Sure.
Because then they don't have any room. So
yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
I mean, that's just going back to spatial awareness. knowing that you have a parent behind you
Absolutely.
with a lap infant and being courteous and going, you know, I'm not going to recline my seat so that she has a bit more space for her child or him.
If you do it slowly, because I have been on the receiving end of that, and I've had a laptop and it caught my laptop and just kind of crushed it down. I mean, it was fine in the end, but they just like shot their seat back.
Yeah.
And some shit can happen.
Yeah, go easy on the recline. That's a good tip. I like that. We should do like a video for the airlines here on airplane etiquette. I think there should be like a common airplane etiquette video. So airlines, hit me up. We'll make a video and just tips for travelers to be more courteous and for a better flying experience.
Alex for hire.
That hasn't been done yet.
Well, I think they try and do it in their, safety videos a little bit.
Well, they need to hire out to independent professional travelers like ourselves.
Sure.
Anyway, trying to drum up some more business.
I think they have some like FAA regulations.
I'm trying to drum up some business here. I'll speak to the FAA.
Sure.
This is a really good one, and I am guilty of this all the time. I'm part of the problem. I apologize. People who put more than one item in the overhead bin, one item per person.
God, the amount of times I have done that is insurmountable.
Look, I don't want to say I'm special, but I'm special. When I'm traveling for media jobs, I have one case, and I know it's carry-on approved, that has all of my LiPo batteries. And I just did that job, and I had to go bring the drone back from LA, and I bought 10 sets of batteries. It's $8,000 in batteries, and they're all very big commercial drone batteries. They have to go on the plane. They can't go underneath. So I'd love to check it, but it's a safety thing. And then I have my backpack with cameras and lenses. So yeah, I'm guilty. I've taken up to.
I've basically seen you dare too many flight attendants to take that backpack from your like dead cold hands.
The backpack can just fit under the seat, and so can the case. But I've usually a frequent flyer. I put one up earlier in the plane so I can get it, and then I'll sneak another one in. So I'm part of that problem, but I only do that when I'm working on like big jobs. I try and put my backpack under the seat.
I have milked the system too many times that I can count. Surely, like I have tried to hide so many carry-ons during my travel career.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
I will say the airlines and Boeing and Airbus, they could do a better job of, because so many people are doing carry-on now, everybody's a bit lazy, like myself included. We don't want to check bags when we don't have to. The bags are getting bigger. Some of these carry-on bags, I'm like, that's a carry-on?
That's why they make a lot of people measure them at the gate.
I mean, I'm just glad we're not on like flying super budget airlines where it's like they are sticklers, and then that's where.
Oh, we've been there many times.
Oh,
before.
I know, and it's not fun. I'm like sweating.
Where were we? Was it last year to Vegas on Frontier?
It was bad.
Frontier. I think did they make me or you measure your carry-on?
I don't know, but it was not good.
I don't know. I like to, especially in the winter, I like to hide some bags with like a bunch of coats on my shoulder.
We avoid those airlines like the plague, but sometimes you have to fly those airlines, and then you have to abide by their crazy bag policies, and that's where they make their money. I digress. Next one. This is sort of off the back of the last one, putting your bag in the overhead nowhere near your seat.
Well, sometimes there are only so many options available.
Exactly. And bags already taken above you, so you don't actually have that option. So we'd all love to have our bag directly above us, but if it's full.
Especially if you are sitting near the, towards the front of the plane and you got to put your bag in the back of the plane, that sucks. Yeah. You have to wait until everybody's off the plane to go get it.
And again, I've been part of that problem, putting two bags up. So, I apologize to everyone.
Same. I'm sorry, y'all.
So I apologize.
My sincere
part
apologies.
Of the problem. But again, being a frequent flyer, get on the plane first. You get the first bag space.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, something like that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sounded wrong.
Yeah, this is another one. People who wear too much perfume, cologne on the plane. How do you feel about that?
It takes me back to was that Limitless Italy with the taxi driver being just like so
I
overbearing
think it
with
was
his
Patagonia.
Yes, I do too. Yeah, yeah. With his cologne. It was just like I'm getting a headache in this
Yeah,
car.
that was
So
some pungent cologne.
similar deal there. You know, I've never really worn perfume.
I know. Look, I don't really wear it when I'm just flying domestic, but if I'm going on a nice long haul flight, I like to get a little dressed up. I think this is something that's been lost a bit in travel. Like people are just wearing whatever they want on flights, and I think it's you look back at photos of like the 60s and 70s
Oh
and
yeah.
80s of flying, people were in like suits and like like they got dressed up.
For sure they did.
And
Times have changed and um I think flying is just a little bit more accessible now though in
for
today's
sure.
world than it used
For
to be.
sure.
And I think, I mean, even looking at my evolution of travel and flying and dress, I mean, I think it was kids that did it for me.
Yeah.
I have to be comfortable. I have to be able to move. I have to be able to pick things off the ground frequently. I'm going to wear leggings.
Yeah. This is one of my pet peeves going off the back of your leggings comment. I don't have a problem with leggings if the leggings are comfortable, but if you're in like full gym attire and you look like you're going to the gym, it doesn't belong on the plane. Like if you're going to wear the leggings, dress it down with the sweater over your waist and like a comfy sweater or something. I just feel like, what are you going to wear to the gym if you're wearing a gym outfit to the plane on your travel day?
Okay. Well, how many people wear athleisure every single day and never work out?
I know it's just
Times have changed.
It's just gotten a little bit overzealous, and I'm a big athleisure guy, but I'm like, am I wearing my gym outfit on the plane?
Yeah, sometimes you have.
No, I don't wear a tank top on the plane.
No, you don't wear a tank top.
That's
on
what
the
I'm
plane.
trying to get at here. Like, crop tops with your tits out, and it's just
Okay.
like,
Yeah, no, I've totally
It's-
seen that. Like,
it's
even,
a lot. It's
even
a lot.
like some influencers wearing like straight up sports bras, like
Yeah.
trendy, cute
Yeah,
sports bras.
like cool.
It's
Like you look
wild.
great. You have a great chest. Like awesome. We all see that. But it's just like just put a t-shirt or
I
something over
completely
it.
agree. I
You know?
completely agree.
You've
And
probably been there in the past. Your hot little thing. Like
I mean, no, I have never worn a sports bra on a plane before, and just a sports bra. I used to get a bit more dressed up than I do now. Like I said, it's a mom thing now, and I need the ability to be able to move in all freaking directions.
maybe it's the OnlyFans people traveling. They just like that's covering up for them. Who knows? But I saw it on my travel day, and I'm like, what is she going to Equinox right now? Like, what is going on? So that's my pet.
I have seen
That's my
some
pet
people
peeve.
like actively working out in airports, though.
It's a
Which
lot.
it is a lot, and it's not necessarily the place for it. But I'm a big fan of movement before flights.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I'm a bit iffy on this topic. And the fact that like SFO and other airports have yoga rooms, like I've been
Yeah.
there before and I've been wearing dresses and I've been pissed that I can't actively do yoga
Pack some yoga pants.
while I'm in the airport. So I'm a big believer in leggings while
Yeah.
traveling. Come at me.
Leggings are comfortable, great, but just don't wear full gym attire. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure most people would agree with me there. Moving on. I think that was a perfume question.
Well, we got off topic.
Hey, I will say, circling back to the perfume, I'm a big like Sauvage,
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp, Dior. Like, I think it's a great subtle smell. It's beautiful. I don't go like 10 pumps. I just do like a one and it's nice.
It is nice.
I appreciate when somebody smells nice, when you get this like light waft of, oh man. And I think I said it to one of your friends like at a social event. I'm like, wow, you smell really nice. Like, I didn't mean it in like it's kind of comes across a little creepy, but like,
No, I say it too when I hug people.
But-
I'm like, you smell good.
yeah, I was like, oh wow, what do you smell great.
Yeah.
It's a sense that is really nice, but it's a fine line between smelling nice and, oh wow, that's really pleasant, to like,
Hitting you
holy
in the
fucking
face.
shit. That cologne is from like 1950s, like Armani.
Axe body spray. Would you rather me wear perfume than not?
I mean, like, I wouldn't want you to wear it. We're going like into personal smells here, but I love when a woman has a a perfume that she just fucking owns, and it's a sense that is really cool. Like when you smell something, you're like, wow, that's really cool. Like my mum wears perfumes, and when she wears something like, and if I get a smell of that, it reminds me of my mother, and same with my nan. And there's just, that sense of,
Scent is the strongest link to memory.
yeah. So, and I love it when planes spray something nice, and
Yeah,
it
same.
makes the
Or
plane,
hotel rooms.
as long as it's good for us. But yeah, planes, airlines keep spraying that good stuff that makes it better.
So you love a good scent.
After a long haul, yeah. Spray it up, but not too much perfume. This is one that we can really relate to now. Anyone judging a mum or dad with kids, we're just doing our best.
Absolutely. And I will say, before kids, I would kind of look at kids that were excessively crying on planes and be like, gosh, are they okay? Like, is there anything the parents can do? Like, no, sometimes there just isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, being on the other side, I will never look at a parent the same way. I will look at them with loving, supportive eyes of, what can I do to help you?
Yeah.
Because it really is so hard. And it's impossible to know when you're not a parent, right?
It's so hard. I traveled with Nora to meet Leslie in Amsterdam, and that was just one. She was 2 at the time, and just for me, it was like a struggle. And I had this really nice young girl who had the window seat, who was super understanding. I'm like trying to contain Nora's legs, and when kids get super tired, they just kind of become delirious. That was the one moment I had, and then she ended up falling asleep, but she was still like spreading out. She was so respectful and thoughtful and understanding, and the way she reacted and was with me and Nora reminded me when I flew to Australia for my bachelor party, and there was this woman. I was in economy at the window, and this woman sitting, she had a lap infant, like a baby, and she had her 3-year-old son solo, like without the husband.
Super mom.
Husband worked in the mines or something or whatever. And I was like, anything you need help at the start. She didn't ask me at the start of the flight. I'm here to help. I have a daughter. I understand. I'm here to help you. Like, and she's like, thank you so much. That means so much. And she's like, I need to go to the bathroom with the baby. Can you look after my son? I'm like, no problems. At the end of the flight, the son was calling me dad.
That's wild.
And, like getting off the plane, I helped her with all her bags. I got the stroller down, like, because she put that one up there. She didn't gate check it. And I helped her off the plane. And she was that made her travel experience so much better. So, yeah.
Speaking of all that, we have a friend who sent us a little message for the podcast. Speaking of, bags and coming on a planes.
My biggest travel day pet peeve that I feel like needs to be spoken of, and I was actually just talking with a friend about it this weekend, is when I'm boarding a plane. I am okay with being 100% independent, feminist, badass, solo travel girl and lifting my own carry-on into the overhead compartment. I've got it. It's down to an art. I am strong. I am capable. I can put my suitcase up by myself. On the other end of the spectrum, I'm very okay with playing the damsel in distress if someone's like, hey, let me grab that for you, in like a super nice tone. I'm like, love it. I can do it. But if you, out of the kindness of your heart, are going to lift my bag into the overhead compartment, go for it. Now, here is where my pet peeve comes in. If it is like a bro, like, the guys I'm talking about, like the finance bro who travels for work, if it's one of them and they look at me and they're like, oh, do you need help with that? Or like, can you put it up there? That's when I like lose my ever-loving mind. Because I'm like, yes, of course I can. And I get so mad because I'm like, either ignore me and just let me be strong, or just be a kind person and say, hey, I'll put that up there for you. But as soon as you insinuate that I am not capable of putting my own suitcase into the overhead bin, you've ruined my whole travel day. So
thank you, Jackie. Totally relatable. Absolutely
Yeah.
relatable.
Do it with grace. Don't be an asshole. Just like do it. And yeah, you don't need to have some insinuating comment, and it's just unnecessary.
Well, she's right. It's like, just either let me do it and be an independent woman,
Yeah.
that the strong woman that I am, or just do it. Don't make me say, like, yes, you can be my knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, either get my bag for me
Yeah.
or don't. There's
Yeah.
no gray area here.
I get it all the time, especially when people are sitting a few in front. They're like, yeah, that's my bag. And I point this one, pull it down, pass it, no problems, you know. We got a couple more before we go that I want to get. Les, this is a really good one. And one of the people I was working with on set yesterday, I asked them what their pet peeves were. So a few people have said this: putting your hair over the headrest onto the back. Like, so it's, if you've got your tray table, there's hair coming over.
No, you just painted a really awful scene. Gross, unhygienic.
Yeah, don't do that. All right, next one. This one's from a pilot wife. Be kind to the crew. When deplaning, don't jockey to the front. That's from a pilot wife.
Don't jockey to the front. I mean, we kind of already touched on this, but yeah, it's always nice to, as you're deboarding, to look at the captain standing right there or the stewardess and say thank you.
Yeah, I think all flight attendants and crew that work for the airlines have a really difficult job. Sometimes they're dealt hands with their company policies that they have to deal with, and they're just doing their best, you know. So give flight attendants and all flight crew some grace. They're doing their best, and sometimes they're having bad days, and so are we, and we're all just trying to get by. So we can all be kind and courteous there to our flight attendants and crew. Here's one for getting off the plane. Yeah, this will be our last one. Standing with your calves against the baggage claim so no one else can get theirs.
Standing with your calves
That's what somebody wrote.
against the baggage claim, like guarding it.
Yeah, you know when like everybody crowds to the baggage claim.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Super annoying.
Super annoying, but if you got somewhere to be, you got somewhere to be. Like, I love a sense of urgency, but not a sense of like crowding and blocking and guarding.
If it is crowded and your bag's coming through, step aside so that person can get the bag. Again, spatial awareness, people. Let's think about it.
Spatial awareness. It's important.
Well, we could have kept going for a really long time.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot. Let's be honest.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
We could do a 2.0 for this, but I think we should get a retired flight attendant on board for the next one. What do you think, Les?
Yes, love that idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Road Less Travel podcast. We appreciate your support.
See you on the next one.
See you guys.